Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Lately I was a bit absent from the YouTube scene because I am ill. I got that coughing sickness and I feel very tired. I guess Volibear is also sick with this unbelievable low win rate. You can't hard carry like you used to with this champion. But fear not, I have come with good news. We are here to enjoy the game, win or lose. And to do so we will experiment with every possible build until we find our ultimate form. Then we can relax and climb at our own pace. My early game strategy is a bit of a trashy approach. Since we are suffering from the Season 14 unbalanced and favoritism towards mages, assassins, and support, we will start always in the enemy jungle. I found out that our opponents never expect us to be there, and it gives us a huge time difference to catch up and buy our first item faster. I am not saying that this strategy is broken on Volibear. We are doing the unthinkable to make Volibear viable. This idea was originally a thing done by Nunu, Shaco, and Nidalee players to delay their adversary their mid-game power spike, and since we don't have a decent game phase at this moment, we will delay everyone's mid-game to match our own misery. This looks good. We are clear to go. I hate Lilia players with a passion. That champion isn't balanced at all and it does way more damage than it needs to. Usually I feel sorry for my enemy when I take something from them this early on in the game. But no, not these types of players. I think Riot have a fetish towards female characters. They make them broken than male champions for no particular reason. Unlimited movement speed accompanied with true damage and infinite range stun. I wish if Riot can make another Giga Chad champion similar to Aatrox or Volibear, the one that lead by example and die with glory. Alright, the enemy jungler is now facing two possible scenarios. Contest my red buff or gank top side. In the off chance that you have a passive, non-interactive solo laners or bot side, then you are doomed. Your jungle will be taken from you, and the only possible solution you have is to pull the 1v2. Otherwise, out FF and wait for the game to end slowly. Since you started the early game with a bold and aggressive move, you should keep pressuring the enemy into corners so that they make mistakes that they can't recover from. Remember, we are playing a champion that is in a rough position in patch 14.1, and the only way for us to winning is by risking it all. I found out the hard way that doing the chickens into red and blue will not give you level 3. You will need to kill a smaller wolf or leech some experience from your mid laner. That is why you should be careful, since the enemy will have his level 3 with wolf camp plus gromp and blue buff. Right on time. I kept pinging my Jax to be careful because Lilia might gank him since she doesn't have anything else to do, and it was right on point. Well, more gold for me and less for them, that is the memo in these wretched jungles. You might wonder why I am not taking smite and teleport or unsealed spellbook. Well, that is the try hard mode, and right now, my goal is to test and learn the maximum possible and enjoy it while doing so. Bot side, the butthole of this game. Always in need for assistance and never grateful for anything. Because this lane is composed of two opposite champions, someone will always blame the other for the failing of the early game. Well, lucky for us, I was at the perfect moment to collect my hard-earned fees for starting that perfect early game. Among the ad carries that I enjoy having on my team, there is First Vayne, the Rat, and Caitlyn or Kog'Maw. I feel very confident around these champions, maybe, because when you rely on the damage and fight longevity, they deliver as they should. Now you would assume that there is nothing to do and it is better to back and spend your gold. But here is the thing. There is always something to gain as long as you are patient and your mind is clear. Lilia is top bothering our top G, meaning her camps will spawn any second now. And the enemy boat side are very aggressive due to the Fiddlesticks pick. Many of the off-meta picks are created for a specific reason. In other words, you don't spam them. You just use them as a countermeasurement. And I am sure that Fiddle against Leona is a bad pick in my humble opinion. May be good against heavy poke, but I don't think it will be rewarding versus no brain engage support. This terrain changes are very welcome. Now, if someone even dares to overextend in my presence, I'll give them the hula hula treatment. I mean, they just saw me run truff the river. The only good thing that can happen to you in Platinum or Emerald Elo is that you don't get the worst teammates. Perfecto. Both kills were taken by the ad carry, meaning we are in a good spot, and our bot side now will start bankrolling in no time. As I said earlier, the no-brain engage support are only good for one thing, to create a lead and capitalize on it. But don't forget the no-brain part. They can leave you alone strangling while they are experiencing the best tunnel vision of their life. If Leona was here with us, we would have taken the Drake, a kill, and everyone was happy. Better luck next time, I guess. I was this close of turning that deer into a shish kebab, unlike Lilia Volibear have built in sustain with his bite, and we are pretty much unkillable in the jungle. Hence, no need to recall, we can safely navigate our way to the top side, and in the same time clearing multiple camps. This will ensure that we will have level 6 before the enemy jungler, and keep us ahead regarding our objectives' priorities. Sign, this is the start of the season. You will find yourself multiple times with players that look like humans but act worse than bots. That is why you should only care about your actions and never die, unless it is worth something more valuable than your teammates. I developed a new rule as a jungler, never gank a control mage. Yes, they are the best optimal fight carry in the game, but they have nothing to offer as a catalyst. Victor can wave clear, slow, and stun engaging opponents, but against a Lux, well, you will get baited into the most embarrassing way of dying, that is one thing for sure. Look at the idiot that I have become. What a sad way of leaving this life. If I have stayed alive and ignored that call, I would had 3,000 gold to purchase my first item, my level 6 power spike, and happy as ever. But sometimes the pain you experience in your day-to-day life is what gives you meaning. And right now I am mad and furious, and I'll surely take my revenge on someone. Even though this mistake was mine and mine alone, I'll make sure to use this anger as a fuel and create with it some amazing plays, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the role of the jungler. You might think that the Drake is a better call since my bot side is ahead. Well, that is just a bait, and I was hoping that they win the 2v2 by themselves. There is nothing that I despise most than hand-holding someone the whole game so that we can win. Individual achievements are the best, and help from time to time is acceptable. But having someone with no character just there soaking experience and gold and expecting others to come and help him to win, well, my friend, you are a waste. And you should start acting to help yourself first so that others can contribute to that act. Now back to our top G. After this play, his title got downgraded to useless G. I mean, conserve your mana a bit and don't make me waste my stuff if you don't have what it takes. Okay, let's stay positive. At least we can still kill the baby voids and get the permanent buff. But there is something wrong with my games. I play normally above average, and the game is very even and seems winnable, but it never goes well at the mid-game. I even did an analytic approach to my VODs, and the only one common thing is my teammates. They never roam with me. I think I'll adopt in the next games a new approach. I call it the Heisenberg approach. It means I'll be the one doing the knocking. I never tried the ballsy Volibear, the one that goes in your face and in your jungle and takes stuff from you as you look. Maybe that will be the right way to play this game in the new season, but there is still another problem, and that is of the build. You might wonder what is the best build on Volibear, and I'm still wondering as well with you. Maybe we will figure it out together in the upcoming videos. Since we failed too many times to pull a successful gank, we have only one option, and that to power bulk for the next play, I'll go now for a full clear, and look to make a dive on bot side. Based on my previous games, usually Leona players ditch their ad carries mid-fight to land that one-chain CC on the enemy, and that is bad for us. Hence, I'll do a 50-50 engage. I'll make sure to land my CC on the enemy engager and my damage on the enemy carry. In that way, I'll prologue the fight long enough for my rat carry to kill everyone while I am pulling all the attention to me or contributing to Leona's engage. Either way, our damage output must never stop pumping the DPS until we come victorious. Can't be there forever for you. This Jax wasted that chance for us to be great. Knowing Lilia took Drake, she will go topside to make a play, yet this guy kept the same level of aggressiveness until he met his demise. Well, whatever it is, not like every top laner will be the best main character of each story arc. Here we are, finally arrived at the doomed, wretched land of this game. I am never used to having a winning bot side. And sometimes I wish they aren't that ahead because it messes up with my playstyle. But right now, let's make sure the rat is well fed and ready. I'll try to use him as a bait to pull off another small win, then go back and spend my gold. Patience is a crucial quality in a jungler, and it would be great if Lilia also comes to gank my bot side. The best moment to hunt someone is when they are jumping on their prey. I learned that stuff from Hunter x Hunter, and it always delivers. But in League of Legends, the hunter is dumb and the prey is dumber, and sometimes you find the prey chasing the hunter and we never know who will eat who. I like the fact that the tower did around 200 damage to me when disabling it. Felt like a scam, to be honest. I might have lived, but this game is League of Bugs sometimes. But this is really good for us all if our investments are in the rat. Caitlyn, on the other hand, is suffering from the overwhelming fiddlesticks pick against multiple engagers and an invisible carry. I might go back again to bot side and perform another sneaky gank, but we need to calm down our top laner. He is keeping a steady death streak. 1 death every 4 minutes or so. Let's see how can we stall this game until the laning phase is over. I mean, guys, be honest with me. Would you help someone like that if you are a jungler? Recalling in the face of the cockroach with 2 cat bars of health, I thought he was taunting him to perform a stun, but my inner brain said that Cho'Gath Devour goes through that, so what is he trying to do? Simply stupid beyond repair. I really want to get the Void Babies, but I have a very bad feeling about this. All our lead is in the bot side. If you can remember, our mid is a moving rock and we can't rely on that. Jax, on the other hand, is a moving pile of mud. He will just make the enemy dirty, and that is all. To be honest, I'll try, but not invest much or die for it. If it works, so be it. Otherwise, I'll join my win condition on the bot side. I hate these games, where we should rely on the bot duo for every major objective. This looks horrible beyond reason. I even used my smite thinking I have 2 charges. I should listen to my gut feeling more, and my real position should have been around the dragon pit. Nah, fuck this shit. We are no longer considering these 2 players as comrades. From here on out, I bestow upon both of you the title of Superior Melee Cannon Minions and the Superior Caster Cannon Minion. I'm not gonna lie to anyone if I say, right at this instance I am seeing a loss. They both died just like that, as if they were not even there in the first place. Let's get ourselves some anti-anxiety dragon buff, and think of a better solution to win this game. We have now enough to acquire our main item, the Facebreaker. With that, if we see an opening, we can run it down in that lane and take any tower down in a matter of seconds. Since bot side are rotating to mid and no one will come to collect this stacking wave in the bot side, it will be a waste to not get all those resources to myself. That was refreshing and satisfying. Cleared the wave and had a lovely conversation with a charming lady. She even offered me dinner for 300 gold, and both her sums. As a gentleman, we can never refuse an offer like that if our host is polite and attractive. Now, I can think clearly on how to win this game, and the answer is simple. We need to make the enemy ad carry worse than our own stupid allies. I think this is the way to go until further notice. Luckily for us, we will be stacking magic resistance early in this game because their only attack damage carry is behind. So far, my Volibear build is Hullbreaker, and whatever item I can buy to stay alive and split push. But this build can't carry the game if your team is dead. Hence, we will think for a new build that will give us the edge in the team fight, and also have split push potential. This is the power of the rat. Once he goes invisible, someone will die, might be him, might be the enemy team. If Jax and Victor throw themselves in front of him and tank whatever damage to keep him alive, I'll let that shitty early game slide and call it a nice game. That Leona is going at it, but I still don't know why Lux is broken this season. Her damage is not justified, and I feel as if her stun is a bit longer than it used to be. Maybe this is just my feeling, but you can't go from average mage to a champion that can't be killed and kill you out of vision with just 2 items. I don't trust these tiny happy moments. They seem like those manga shots where everyone says, "Yay, everything will be alright." Then everyone starts dying left and right from an unknown disease like in the movie The Happening. Let's see what is the problem with the cockroach. I fear this might turn out to be one of those Terraformers episodes. One thing for sure, if we die, both me and Jax, the team morale will be in the toilets. Hence, we need to make sure this play succeeds. Yeah, why don't you go back to base, Jax? What's up with all this fear? Let's give him the best beating of his life. This site is a rare one. Everyone came to kill this guy. I guess we all agree on that Jax terrified our subconscious all the early game, with those commercial break ads of his death popping everyone now and then. I really want to go bot side and split push whenever I see a lane with no pressure in it. I get this urge. The one downside of collective team play is we start losing passive gold and experience bit by bit, and we find ourselves with lower level difference against the enemy. Finally, we have the force of nature. Now Lilia, come and say hi to Daddy. Hopefully this is enough for me to withstand all of that incoming magic damage. Right on time for Drake. With this build we have good damage, some movement speed, and a lot of health to sustain throughout the team fight. but we are lacking a bit on the tenacity to be fair. The enemy team got a lot of crowd control. I might add that every champ on that team can't stun you for more than 2 seconds, and in a team fight, well, you can say goodbye to your Fourth Amendment and stay detained for several seconds until you see the gray screen again. Luckily, we can use our carries as bait and navigate ourselves into a better engage, or even better, ditch these idiots and go split push. We never settle for a loss. We might lose, but the enemy will work for that win harder. I messed up bit time, but guys, hear me out. I felt Jax's hand reaching out to my mouse and it flicker right when I was trying to jump on Caitlyn. This is unfair. This fight went into an absolute disaster. And the funny part is that most of my damage is AD. How and why? Maybe the tower, but not that much. Fine. The rat saved our mental crisis with those 2 letters, my bad. I think he was talking about the melee form moment to reach Caitlyn that cost him his life. Alright, back to business. I'll get either a Zanya's Hourglass or Riftmaker. I feel one of these 2 will help me survive more a bit in the team fight. That Baron buff is gone. Let's just make sure to kill them all and rotate for the Dragon Pit while taking everything we can. I still can't believe that we are winning in the scoreboard, but never got any tower or major objective going on, Jaxo. My dear Jax, the potential you have as a split pusher, yet you are stuck sniffing your socks under the bed. There is nothing I hate most than having a game with no pressure on the enemy team. This is why I like to have at least one dedicated split pusher as an insurance in every game if possible. You should count yourself very lucky, Lux. My ultimate is on a cooldown, and Leona there is giving you the hula hula look. Let's chill for a bit. There are camps on the map, and I think I should stop making calls for now. My team are doing much better with their half-assed calls. Sometimes the better solution is the inferior one, hence let's stick with it and move on. Exactly what we needed. I think the enemy team is having their own share of tilt and flame, which is understandable. Us, on the other hand, our rat killed all hope of tilt with just 2 letters earlier, and I saved them the suffering of my rage by muting myself. Thank you, Riot, for this wonderful option. Yes, that is definitely tilt at its finest. I guess this Cho is the actual carry of the enemy team, and they didn't appreciate him much. Sad life. Whenever you have someone that is your win condition, you should provide for him the necessary environment to thrive and carry, otherwise he will be the best loser of his bloodline. We would be fools if we don't take advantage of this moment and seal this game. Finally, we can see some progress. We struggled for 15 minutes to even take 1 tower. I don't know if this is just my games or you guys experience the same problems regarding pushing your lead or have any actual impact on the game after making a play. Maybe I should reconsider taking Hullbreaker as my first item and go for another approach that involves sustain or ramping damage to stay up and kicking and keep the fight at the enemy doors. This is something I am very familiar with. I think I pissed off a lot of you guys. Well shit. Catch me if you can, bitches. I talked too soon. Never mind, this death was my honest mistake. I risked it for the blue buff. I guess my team will do fine without me since mid is pushing. But if we lose, I'll accept that this loss was entirely on me. I'm just kidding, the only one to blame in this game is Jax, and how he controls other people's mouses without being caught by the new anti-cheat system. I was wondering why Volibear made a tight turn instead of running straight when Cho'Gath was right behind me. I think Freak wanted us to use the chat in this method, since it is clear that Drake will not win us the game even if we take it. But that Jax teleport is the best Zawardo moment he can pull off. If I was alive, I'll ditch the fight completely and go to end this game. Damn, I regret now dying for that blue buff. This is the last play of this game. I hope you have enjoyed this one, even with this slow, scary anti-team roaming solo laners. I hope to see you guys soon, and make sure to leave a comment and press the subscribe button at your own risk. Otherwise, Volibear will look for you personally and give you a hug to the death. Take care, everyone, and peace.